pretty much not right on the gearbox, but he is closing though. As Gelfi and Rui are fighting behind him. Tails still leading 0.8 seconds. Groovy followed by David Shahood. David falls back a little bit, has a moment there, not a big moment, just a little bit of a moment, and falls back.
Alright, stream is all good. We're all good to go. There's just going to be a part 2, but that is all fine. That's fine. Anyway,
yeah, stuff happens.
On board, yeah, it looks like Groovy might be falling back a little bit here. Yeah,
he had a couple moments there at the towards that last sector, or towards the middle sector.
Yeah,
and Tails almost.
It looks like, yeah, Tails and Groovy just in a league of their own because, yeah, David already kind of falling back, almost out of the DRS range. I don't know if DRS will come into play, maybe on the last lap.
I believe it would. Probably not this straight. Or, well, no. No, not this straight, but the
lap.
yeah.
The only chance would be next lap. I think it will, maybe.
No, I mean like not the front straight, but it'll be the Kimmel straight though.
Right.
They should have it. Which, oh boy, once again, last lap. Dramatics, can Groovy stay within that DRS range? Because we've seen how effective it is here.
Yeah, I mean, Tails has proved to be pretty quick in a straight line, so without the DRS, Groovy might be struggling a little bit. As yeah, not necessarily losing ground, but he's definitely not gaining much. Yeah, he drops down to a little bit beyond 7/10. So there are any other battles? Total Carney into P7 now. Under dropping down to P9.
And once again, Blood Gustavo hit it up, but he just made a nice move there on Asset Masters, though. Oh, and he's gonna run wide, though.
Oh, almost causes a collision, but they avoid it.
He had a huge run, went around Asset Masters and was closing on Thunder, but yeah, then runs deep and that loses the place.
So yeah, Eric, Val, Gelfi, and Rua all very close together. David in somewhat of a kind of no man's land. He's got about a second and a half behind him, and he's actually closing a little bit, but not too much. He's still not in the DRS that he would need if we can get it on the last lap, but he's pushing now. I can tell he's using the ERS. He's flashing. He's low on it, but he's pushing as hard as he can to get any sort of gap with that 3-second penalty. Let's see here, Groovy. Will he be able to get a move done on this last lap? ERS is enabled.
So Groovy, he's within 0.6 of a second. Let's see how much. Does he get a good run off the turn 1?
Usually we've only seen the move get done around 0.3 back. Tails is so quick in a straight line, and I'm sure he has ERS saved up. It might be tough. I don't know if he's going to be close enough.
DRS is Eric picks up a penalty too.
I don't think he's close enough.
Think so either. No. Yeah, he's just too far back. He's going to send it. Try to carry as much speed as he can. This Tails, though.
Oh, Groovy gets a penalty.
Hey, Groovy gets a 3-second penalty, but which David has one as well. But
it's still probably drop him. It still could drop him out of a podium, maybe. I think Gelfi might be in for a podium now.
Oh, Gelfi, you are right. I did not realize how close Gelfi was.
I don't think TC is in that gap. He's not in 3 seconds. He's 3 seconds from Val, so I don't think TC is in for a podium, but I think he might gain some very useful positions.
That's a yellow flag. Oh, no, and it's Eric Valve dropping down.
I think TC and him might have just had a possible collision. I'm not too sure, but that's so unfortunate for Eric.
Yeah, Groovy falls back more than a second. He is definitely not going to close this gap now.
Kind of accepted that he probably won't be winning this race, and it looks like, yeah, Tails will be taking home. Is that his second race win in a row? Or no? I can't remember.
You are, yeah.
I think he won at Portimao. Yeah. I mean, it's almost the same, except for third place. I don't think David was third place. Last race.
They come around.
And he sets the fastest lap on his last lap.
Brua drops down to P5, but that still is a great finish, though, for the Red Bull.
Does hop into P3.
Oh, no, and he continues to drop down, which I'm sure we will see that 5 seconds potential.
Oh, that's right.
He
right.
was P4,
Forgot
so
about that.
potentially we will see if he
David
will
hops
retain
out
that,
of the
which will be a
podium
great
and
position.
Gelfi replaces him. That's actually, I didn't do the math, but that's kind of surprising.
Also, Gelfi does go ahead and jump up into the podium positions.
What a race. What a race. Spa always providing.
Never fails.
Didn't even need rain.
No.
So yeah, we'll be getting the podium drivers in here for an interview.
Yeah, once again, though, a lot of great racing out there from the boys, keeping it clean, a lot of beautiful overtakes and stuff. And it's so great to see a lot of finishers too. I only think we had a few DNFs, as I recall, right?
Right, I think it was 3 DNFers or maybe 4, but I think it was 3. Good racing from everybody. Everybody raced honestly very well. We saw battles up and down the field. But yeah, I mean that was a great race, honestly. Thunder hopping into the points again for P10, Rua in P9, Azure P8. So the Red Bulls kind of hopping down. Acid Masters in P7, a good finish from him from that P5 start. Nat Hammer in P6, starting from the back of the grid, good finish from him. TC in P4 or P5, I mean. David in P4, so the title contenders finishing right near each other once again. FR Gelfi in P3, Groovy in P2, and Tails taking the win of the Belgian Grand Prix. We'll take a quick intermission, get our interviewees in here.
And we're here with the post-race interviews after exciting race with our P3 finisher, Gelfi. And well, you had a nice race out there. Maybe you had a couple incidents that you had to avoid and stuff, and keep your nose clean to get up on the podium. Go ahead and walk us through a little bit of your race there.
Yeah, that was tough. Pretty exhausting race, but I think everything went well for me. There was one time I almost crashed with Nat, but every time I went through Oruja, I was almost shitting myself. But everything went right, and yeah, good strategy. I thought I could lose some positions because the first safety car, I lost position for one Red Bull, I don't know who. But then I got the podium with these penalties and yeah, pretty good race.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I don't think I really have anything to add to that. That was a great race from Gelfie. I mean, I've personally battled with you on Spa before, so it's not really too much of a surprise for me to see you up here. That was a great race from you. We obviously you guys get to enjoy your break this week. So no racing until Netherlands, but yeah, no, good race from Gelfie. Who got second? Groovy? Yeah, Groovy got second. So, Groovy. Seems like, I mean, the season started, you were getting no limelight, no showtime. You were in the back of the pack, struggling.
Relax.
And and now, I mean, you've turned your season around. I mean, what do you really kind of attribute that to?
I think just getting more safe race setups instead of just purely focusing on that TT setup. So just nice rear end where I'm not losing the rear end. And it's just it's gutting for the Williams. We had that 2-3 and then Milky just lost it. So that could have been podium for both Williams again.
Yeah, that was definitely unfortunate to see Milky crash out there kind of early on in the race. But I mean, kind of describe your battling with Tails. We were on board with you most of the race. We were trying to give other people love, but you guys just kept going at it. I mean, were you guys kind of working together, or were you kind of the mind frame of like, if I pass, like every time I keep passing, or were you trying to obviously build out a gap, or were you kind of the mind frame maybe like we'll work together till the end to build out a gap from the other racers? What was your mind thought? Your mind
Well,
frame
at first we had a big gap. We had a big gap on the rest of them, so I was like, okay, we could battle a little bit, but not too hard where we lose so much time that they catch up on us. And really, I know he was saving too. We were both saving for that. Around spot, it's whoever's at second place on the last lap, and if you got DRS, you'll get that overtake. So
right.
I was banking on that, but then safety car came up, and safety car when you restart here, that if first place is smart, like tells you just go right after the chicane because second place is still gonna be taking that chicane. So he built that gap, and I couldn't keep up with that gap.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough, because you guys, I mean, I don't even know how many lead changes there were, but
Yeah, quite a few.
a ton, yeah. But I mean, no, still
like
a great
you.
race from you, nonetheless. Go on, Celeste.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, it looked like you were pushing, trying to close that gap on the last lap, and then acquired that penalty and stuff, though. But good racing all around, though, from y'all too.
Yeah, I mean, on to Tails now, the race winner. I mean, this is your second race win in a row. I mean, how are you feeling, my man?
I mean, I'm very happy, bro. At the beginning of this season, I was like, I had the pace, but I was making too many mistakes, you know. So I focus on that and try to do less mistakes, and here's the result.
Yeah, it's definitely paying off. I mean, we kind of asked Groovy the same question, but when you were battling with Groovy, were you kind of thinking the same thing of like, let's try to build out a gap, or were you kind of just flat out the whole way, just trying to, get away from Groovy as well? What was kind of your thoughts during the race when you were battling?
It's basically same day as Groovy. I was saving my ERS, and we are building the gap from, I think it was David, I don't know who the third was, but every time we were opening the gap, so yeah, we were kind of working together.
Yeah, no, you guys both showed great pace, even on the restart. Me and Celeste were saying that, I mean, nobody's really catching them. David's not really putting up much of a fight, even on the brand new tires. So, yeah, no, great pace from both of you guys. Congrats to Tails, congrats to Groovy, and congrats to Gelfie on your podiums. And we will not see you guys next week. You guys will be getting a break, but we will see you the next week in Zandvoort.